Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Saturday, November the 5th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Josh Crash Davis. Crash, I apologize to everybody listening and you. It was my technical difficulties here on the road and could not get the proper microphone working.
It's all good, Coach. Better late than never, and everyone's here for the content. So we're going to deliver that and hopefully deliver some winning lineups tonight.
Absolutely. Yesterday I was traveling, so didn't have access. Appreciate you and Deb doing a great job. Great breakdown yesterday. Today, Crash, we have a good, really good 7-game slate. Tons of news, lots of things shifting. What we're going to be doing is after the podcast, we'll wait probably 15, 20 minutes. We'll post all the ownership in Discord for members. It's a little, I saw that some of it wasn't updated, so we're going to do that certainly in Discord after the podcast. So thank you for everybody that's listening. I can't see the live chat, so I'll let Crash handle that part of it. But we are going to attack this 7-game slate with a lot of interesting injuries, rotation changes, and certainly getting those right is the key really to building some winning lineups. So on the way in the door here, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that thumbs up now. We're going to give away 2 tickets today at the end of the podcast, one for Draftkings and one for Fanduel. But you've got to hit that thumbs up on YouTube. If you're watching live on Twitter, same thing goes for a like and retweet. We really do appreciate that. All right, Crash, I think we're ready to dive into this sucker if you are.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right, we have one game starting at 7. The crazy ass Brooklyn Nets. Those poor guys, man. What a shit show it's been for them already this year.
I know.
It's craziness. And they are playing the Charlotte Hornets. Brooklyn's a road favorite by 4.5, coming off absolutely crushing their last opponent. And it's a 221.5 total, 113 implied for Brooklyn, 108.5 for Charlotte. Now I'm getting a scratchy voice too.
Oh,
what
no.
the hell's going on?
No, not that again.
I know we went through that.
Yeah.
There it goes. And in this game, Crash, it is Kyrie, we all know, has been suspended. Simmons and Warren remain out. The news that we need, unless if it's updated, let me know. I have Terry Rozier as questionable.
Yeah, let me check that real quick.
Yeah, and then obviously Ball's out, but Hayward and Martin are out on top of that for Charlotte. So very interesting. And the Nets come in 3-6, Charlotte 3-6. So obviously 2 teams not doing what they'd like. 221.5 is that total, and that is not one of the bigger totals by any stretch. We have a 235 on this slate and a 233. So anything on Rozier?
I don't see anything so far.
Okay.
Looks like they haven't updated it since he was listed questionable. So that's still the current status.
You know what? I've got to give us a reference point. So even though it's a little early, I'm going to give some ownership to you real quick, Crash, because it does shape how we're going to start building this 7-game slate. Even if these shift as we go, at least we have a starting point. So as of right now, everybody's on my KD. He really got it done. He's 10-6, most owned at 32%. Cat with the news with Gobert, he's 30%. The guy that I'm high on now, Isaiah Hartenstein. I was waiting for Mitch Robb to go down, but I'm not the only one. He's 29. Malcolm Brogdon, 28. And then how about this one, Crash? Nazir Little. From off the board to the 5th highest owned projected guy.
Wow.
$3,100, 25% ownership.
Anything in particular that's driving that, or?
they're shorthanded, and he looked good yesterday.
Yeah.
He hit some shots. I think it's a sucker play. I'm not
Mhm.
going there. There's other value, including the next guy on this list. Edmund Sumner didn't have a particularly great game yesterday, but 3,200, he's going to be starting. That's a place I like to go. And then I'll give you the last group, and then we'll move on to these games. Kevin Porter Jr., Şengün, Claxton, Ant, KG Martin, Naz Reid filling in for Gobert. Justice Winslow played a good part with all those guys out. Slow-mo, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. So that's your real core of what it looks like as far as the chalky plays, at least to this point,
Yeah.
All right, break it down, man. What do you got?
Yeah, so for me, my favorite pay up in this game is definitely Kevin Durant. Like you said, he's expensive. He's 10-6 on both DraftKings and Fanduel. 49 on Yahoo is a little bit, better price. I really like Nicholas Claxton in the same spot that Steven Adams was in last night. He got in one half, he got 50 fantasy points. So
yeah,
a lot of people were on Claxton last night. I think tonight's an even better spot for him. So I definitely like him. He's going to be a core play for me. Royce O'Neal's been playing pretty good since they've moved him to shooting guard from power forward, which is interesting, but that seems to be a good spot for him. And the other play that I like, if Rozier and Hayward are out, I don't mind going back to my guy, Jalen McDaniels. I know he had a bad game last night, but I think he bounces back today. He's only 4,800 on DraftKings, $13 on Yahoo, and he kind of makes everything else for my lineup construction work. So that's kind of where I'm at so far. None of the other Hornets that I really like that much. If Terry Rozier and Hayward both play, then it becomes a lot more interesting for me.
Well, Hayward's out, so that takes him out.
Hayward's out. Okay.
Yep.
Well, if Rozier plays, then I'll probably play him, but we'll see if he plays.
Yeah, he's 8K, and even if he plays for me, at least, I'm not going to go there because I'm just afraid he'd be limited. I feel, again, it's, when it's something like the other night when I believe let's play Garland, and then we didn't do it. It's a little bit different for Rozier. I'm thinking he'd be a little limited. But for me, I feel pretty strong about going right back to Durant. I mean, again, minutes never affect him. He's completely the full deal. And I know it's a big commitment at 10-6, but it's just a slam dunk for me. I like Edmund Sumner tonight, though. I think the mix here works in this game where, Charlotte has only a 108.5 implied. Brooklyn has a 113, but the 108.5 doesn't make me jump up, but I think a lot of that to me is going to go to Kelly Oubre.
Yeah.
He's one of my key plays in this on this entire slate.
Okay.
So, I'll come out with probably 2 or 3 guys from this game. I even though it's not one of the better totals, I do really like Durant, and I really like Oubre and Sumner.
Okay. I was going to say Sumner, and I just had a feeling you were going to tell me that it was a bad play, so I didn't say it. But I don't know why.
No,
I like him. I mean, he's 3,200,
And
so.
he's got a lot of upside. And, if you're going to buy up in a few spots like we'll talk about, you got to find value. So
for sure.
All right, game 2, 7:30. It's the New Orleans Pelicans and Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta's favored by 1. Nice big 230.5 total. 114.75 implied for New Orleans. 115.75 for the Atlanta Hawks. In this game, we know Kira Lewis and Mr. Liddell out for the Pelicans. Trae Young questionable. Obviously, that might have a little bit to do with the slate. And Bogdanovich is still out. So, how are you looking at this game? DeJounte Murray's going to be the best play on the slate if Trae doesn't play, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Trae Young is out, then DeJounte Murray is my favorite play on the slate. Definitely would be a core play. I like how Zion Williamson looked in the last game against the Lakers. he was 8,800 on both DraftKings and Fanduel, $40 on Yahoo. Atlanta's allowed the 5th most fantasy points to power forwards. So I like the spot for him a little bit, but I'm not sure I'm going to get to it because I'm leaning towards Towns. Now, we just got news that Terry Rozier will play.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to start, but we do know that he is going to play. So
I'm sure if the news came in that he'll get those minutes. So, that does take a little bit away from me for sure, as far as feeling so confident about Oubre. Still going to take a look at that because the shots are going to be there. Definitely knocks Dennis Smith down a huge peg for whoever was looking in that direction. So we will continue to look at it. But, I mean, as far as Atlanta goes in this game, I'm with you on, Murray. But I think 2/3 of the field will probably be with us. If Young does play, though, not sure about going to either spot, really. Don't really like the Hawks tonight. Not high on them. The Pels, on the other hand, with the way Atlanta's been defending and the pace that they're playing at, I think Zion is a nice play. I think that I'm interested too because I think CJ might be the play because I think he's going to get Trae Young defense.
Yeah,
and that really, I may go push a lot of the chips on the table here with that McCollum Zion combination and really try to zap it because I think they're going to score a lot of points against Atlanta.
Yeah, I could definitely see that for sure. I'm trying to look and see something about CJ. How he's done against Atlanta. Not any huge games recently, but I mean, he's more than capable, especially if he's going to have Trae Young guarding him. So,
yeah, and I think that's the way the matchup plays out. So,
yeah.
All right, let's keep moving. 7:30, we've got Boston Celtics 5-3 against the New York Knicks at 4-4. In this game, Boston is a 4-point road favorite, 114.5 implied for Boston, 110.5 for the Knicks. As far as injuries in this game, we know Horford is out, and we already know the other bigs are out. So it's Noah Vonleh season, as they say in the DFS world. Grimes questionable, Mitch Robinson doubtful. My favorite play on the board overall is Isaiah Hartenstein at center for the Knicks. And the fact that he gets to go against Noah Vonleh is even more interesting. So how are you breaking this one down, Crash?
Yeah, I like Hartenstein as well. I also like that you can use him at both power forward and center, so you can get him and Claxton in there. He's 4,400 on DraftKings and 13 on Yahoo, 5,100 on Fanduel. So DraftKings and Yahoo I like the most for him. And then I don't really have anyone else on the Knicks that I like. On Boston, I like Jason Tatum. He's getting about half the ownership of Kevin Durant, and they have pretty similar games and stats and stuff. So I do like Tatum as an alternative to Durant. I also like Malcolm Brogdon as a value play. He's 4,600 on DraftKings, 5,500 on FanDuel, 17 on Yahoo. Favorite spot for him is definitely DraftKings. So a couple plays for me in this game, not too heavy, but I definitely want to go with Hartenstein.
Yeah, I'm with you. And he's going to be chalky, but it is what it is. My recommendation, my fade here is I know a lot of people are going to think, okay, like I said, Noah Vonleh season, he's cheap. Let's get him in there. He does well when he's in there, look good in a backup role. I would say, no, that's my, avoid it, fade it, because I think he splits minutes right down the center with Grant Williams. And I just don't think it's a smart way to go. And that is also part of the reason I really love Hartenstein tonight. He will be in everything that I build. And that's probably going to be the only person I like out of this game. I just don't like, even though it's a 225, which is higher than even the last game, I just don't like the way they spread around, between Brunson is playable at times.
Yeah.
I found Randall to be unplayable anymore. He just, all the ratios are coming down. That assist ratio since Brunson's come.
True.
And, now they're not playing Fournier. They're splitting minutes at that spot. There was rumors Grimes might start. I've heard all of that. So just eliminates each piece of it. And I don't want to spend up for Brown and Tatum against the Knicks team that isn't that fast and plays good defense.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was kind of the reason I put those guys on the thumbnail, because I thought you might have a hot take to fade them both. But, I kind of like Tatum a little bit more than you, I guess. But I'm definitely with you on the Randall fade for sure. So
excellent. You want to do a quick check if we have any questions, or do we have anybody new in there?
Perugi asked, you don't like Brogdon, coach? I don't know that you said that, but
I didn't say that, and we're about to get to that game.
No, we just did.
I'm sorry. Brogdon, as far as
against
in that rotation with Boston. I mean, I know he's cheap off the bench. No, I'm not. I'm not going to go there just because of, again, pace and defense from the Knicks.
Mm-hmm. Earl Tyson says, "Tell Coach I said hello." Let's
get him,
see.
Mike.
Winslow won me some money last night. Yeah, Winslow was a huge play last night.
Very smart play.
Deb says she's with you on CJ. Yami Styles says don't sleep on Sengun. And that's Yami Styles says Derek White, if he starts, is a good value. That's about it.
Okay. We have a decent group in there?
Yeah. Yeah, we got a decent group today. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We're going to do a quick 2 brains are better than one lineup at the very end, and we're going to give away those 2 tickets. If you want to join us, by the way, we have new pricing that just posted. We've lowered our price in a lot of areas and simplified it. So you have a few choices there if you want to come aboard. Just go to dfscoachtalk.com. We're not doing the Luka Special anymore. We've lowered the prices even to the Luka Special, and those are now all posted on our website. Also, if you want to try out Boom Fantasy, we have a link connected right here in our bio, both on Twitter and YouTube. We also have that link on our website. And if you're on YouTube now and you haven't done it, to qualify for those 2 tickets at the end, we're asking you to give us a quick thumbs up. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so. And make sure to click that little alarm in the upper corner that alerts you every time one of our podcasts posts. We've got a lot of podcasts going, and we're also going to be going live once a week with football and once a week with basketball. And then starting next Wednesday, it will be members only for a lot of these podcasts. So we hope that a lot of you can join us, check us out. If you want to just dip your toes in the water, you can try a 3-day $10 pass as well. So, all right, my friend, we go to game number 5, 4 games left. Let's fire through these. 8:00. Oklahoma City Thunder 4-4 against some team by the name of the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know if you've heard of them.
8-0.
8-0. That's right.
Yeah.
Pokacheski out for the Thunder. We have Connaughton, Green, Ingles, Middleton out for the Bucks. Mamu and Giannis are both questionable. So what is the latest on your man Giannis, as Deb says?
Yeah, I don't think Giannis is going to play. That's my take.
Okay.
I think that Marjan Beauchamp, who got some minutes last night, the most he's had all season, had 20.3 Draftkings points in 18 minutes. I think he might start tonight because I think Giannis is going to be out of the lineup. I think they're going to start Holiday, Carter, Beauchamp, Portis, and Lopez. That's what I think. I think maybe Allen and Beauchamp. But either way, I don't think Giannis will start, and I think that Beauchamp will be in the starting lineup. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is an interesting take. I mean, under those circumstances, if Giannis sits, I go Drew Holiday would be the play.
Yeah.
I know he's a little expensive, but it's hard to get away from him. And then obviously Bobby Portis, he'd be chalky if Giannis sits, but that's where I'd go. Holiday and Portis right off the bat. Like you said, Brook Lopez has had some terrific games of late.
He really has.
He's massively in play. I mean, his price is drifting up, but he's still very, very good play.
Yeah.
And then the question I have for you, because you'd have more of this knowledge than anybody, how does Drew Holiday do guarding SGA?
I
Because
think he's doing
SGA has
pretty
been
well. Let me see.
amazing.
Yeah, let me see what SGA's done against Milwaukee. I don't think he's done much against him. Hang on.
Thing is, I know he's extremely pricey, but certainly a spot you can go. The guys I also like in that game. I mean, I really like this game. I don't, it's a 220 total. I'm a little bit upside down in the higher games to the lower games, even though there's only about a 13-point spread between all of them. I like some of these lower scoring games according to Vegas than the higher, and this being one of them as well.
Yeah, so his last 4 games against Milwaukee, SGA has, and this feels like an outlier, 72.5 and then 31, 29, and 17. So
that's not the right trend, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to do it. I know, every time we seem to fade him, he's the top scorer on the slate, but he's so expensive. I'd rather go to a secondary piece like a Josh Giddey or even the rookie Jalen Williams. I am just really enamored with his game. If he can, get enough minutes with Poku out, I think he could be a terrific play. So I will definitely have ownership in this game, Crash.
Deb, I think because Deb was asking about Nwora, I think Nwora is playing himself out of the rotation. He hasn't looked good at all, and Beauchamp has definitely been the better player of the two so far. So I think Beauchamp is going to take his minutes. That's what I'm projecting.
Okay. What are your other plays from this game then? Anything else to add?
Holiday, Brooke Lopez, Beauchamp, Portis, and then potentially SGA, but probably only on Draftkings where he's below 10K at 9,900. But I would probably just prefer Holiday if Giannis is out, honestly. So
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right, another 8:00 game, and it is the Houston Rockets 1-8 at the Minnesota Timberwolves 4-5. We have Fernando, Smith, Tate, and Ty Washington out. And then for Minnesota, Garza, Minot, and Rudy Gobert. So that changes things up. I believe according to what I'm looking at, it looks like they're just going to keep Towns at the 4, start Nas Reed in Gobert's spot. But you got to think Cat's going to get some extra run at both spots. In this game as well, Crash, we've got a 233.5, which is the second highest on the slate. Minnesota by 7.5, 113 applied for Houston, 120.5 for Minnesota. So what do you got?
I really like attacking Houston with the guards. So I like Anthony Edwards. He's probably my favorite play from a GPP perspective. Karl Anthony Towns is getting a ton of ownership. And Houston has allowed the 3rd most fantasy points to power forward. So it is well-deserved from that standpoint. He's 8,900 on DraftKings, 9,300 on Fanduel, 36 on Yahoo. So fair pricing for a guy that could probably get, 60, around 60 fantasy points tonight. On the opposite side, I like Kevin Porter Jr. Minnesota's allowed the 8th most fantasy points to point guards. He's only $29 on Yahoo. I think that's a good deal for him. And then Sengun is a good play with Gobert out. He's 6,300 on DraftKings, 6,500 on FanDuel, 22 on Yahoo. He is getting about 22% ownership right now. So
I mean, in this game, it's pretty simple for me, Crash. I really, really like Kevin Porter Jr. and Alphonse Sengun. I like Sengun better than Cat because of the leverage and the fact that he's $2,600 cheaper. So really, really going to have a hard time finding a lineup of mine without double rockets here, Porter and Sengun in perfect spots, in my opinion. On the Minnesota side, with Gobert out, it doesn't really affect offensively anything that they do. Little too high for me on Russell and Edwards. McDaniels at that 4.7 remains very tempting. Not going to probably go with the chalky 8-9 Cat, which is extremely tempting. There's no question about it. I think, after that, though, more than likely going to stick with the Houston side. Want to see what that final starting lineup's going to be. Want to see who starts at the 4 and what that rotation is going to look like. Because I think you're going to have a couple of bench guys play bigger roles. And I'm very tempted to go with Nas Reed, to be honest with you.
Okay.
He's only
I hadn't
3-6.
even considered him yet, but yeah, I can see
like
that.
him.
3-6. Yeah.
I mean, he can get to his number. And if they're just going to say, hey, Nas, you're playing the Gobert minutes, period, which he's very capable of doing, I think he's a great play.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 2 left. We have a 9 o'clock. And let's see here. Where's the other game? We have
San Antonio, Denver.
There it is. Okay. San Antonio, Denver at 8, and Portland and the Suns at 9. The Spurs, Suns, Denver, big favorite here. So the 2 late games are both blowout potential. 11.5-point favorite for the Nuggets. 235.5, which is the highest number on the board. 112 implied for the Spurs. 123.5, which is massive for the Nuggets. And man, Gordon really got it done for me the other day. That was a lot of fun to watch. He had a couple of tip dunks that were just ridiculous. In this game, the Spurs, questionable Zach Collins, Langford, Roby, Wesley out. For Denver, it is Highland and Ish Smith questionable, Gillespie and Najee out. 5-4 Spurs, 5-3 Nuggets. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you say blowout, but I mean the Spurs really have been playing way above their talent level. And they just keep competing in games we think are going to get blown out. So I don't know if it will blow out, but it definitely could. I like Aaron Gordon on the Nuggets side. Devin Vassell would probably be my favorite play because even off the bench last night, he did pretty well. And I don't want to pay almost $12K for the Joker on a slate like this. Murray, I think, is a solid play because he's getting over 30 minutes now. He's $5,800 on Fanduel, $20 on Yahoo, $62 on Draftkings, so a little bit more over there. And then Bruce Brown keeps playing very solid basketball. So I think he's in play on Yahoo, especially at only 16. But I definitely lean more towards the Denver side. I just don't want to pay that much for Joker.
All right, this is going to shock you. And for our listeners, this is the hot take of the day from me. Highest score on the board, according to Vegas, 235.5. This game is a complete fade for me. That's my hot take. I think it blows out. You could scream at me as much as you want. Some of the people that think that that's a crazy way to do it, but I game script everything that I see in this game. San Antonio, young team, coming back to earth, and they got to go in the altitude, play in Denver against KCP and Gordon and some guys that can really defend. I think this is 20 to 30 point blowout. I don't think everybody gets all their run, and everybody's going to jam 2-3 people in from this game because of the implied total. So there you go. There's my hot take. Away from any of the chalk plays, and I am just fading this game.
Hot take, but I don't think it's a crazy take. I mean, I think it's a pretty solid take, actually. I could definitely see it. The Spurs, they've had a lot of games at home. I think that's helped them a lot with their home crowd and stuff where they can stay close. But on the road and that elevation, that's just tough. So it's a tough place to play.
Yep. So hopefully that's the thing that sets us apart. All right, last game, Crash, 9 o'clock. You get an early rest tonight for football tomorrow. That's nice. It's only a 215.5 total, and Phoenix is an 11.5-point favorite on top of that. 113.5 is on the winning side, according to Vegas, with the Suns. Only 102 for Portland. So that is really interesting line. But injury-wise, Josh Hart probable. He played really bad the other night. Watford, probable. Lillard, Payton, Sarr, Simmons out. For Phoenix, no Crowder, no Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
Cameron Payne or Mr. Wainwright. So what do you think?
I think this is
Game.
going to be a lot like that Milwaukee and Detroit game we saw last week, where the first game was really close and Detroit could have easily won that game. And then, Milwaukee won a close one last night. Jeremy Grant hits a buzzer beater fadeaway jumper to win the game. I think Phoenix comes out. They woke them up. They poked the bear. I think Phoenix comes out and blows them out by 30 plus is my prediction.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they run them off the court. That's my prediction. Yep.
Yeah, it is definitely a tough spot for Portland and their young team, and they're so shorthanded. It's crazy. But, I think Justice Winslow, not chasing points here, it's just Justice Winslow. He's the pseudo point guard.
Yeah.
So he's going to have his hands on the ball. He's sub 5K.
Yep.
Hard for me to not play, to be honest with you.
I still think Winslow and Grant both are decent plays, honestly. I mean, Grant, the way he's been playing for that price, especially at $21 on Yahoo, that's very solid. And then Winslow's only 11 on Yahoo. He's 4,900 on Draftkings and 5,200 on Fanduel. So Winslow's a key play for me.
Me too.
Again, just kind of makes the roster come together nicely. So I like Winslow a lot. And I do think that Phoenix is going to blow this game out. So there's not really anyone that I want to pay up for on their side.
Shaedon Sharpe's a little tempting because even if it does get a little out of hand, you would think you'd get a little extra run as a youngster. So, yeah, I really like the cheaper Winslow and Sharpe even more than spending up for like Hart.
Sorry, King of Smack just said that Winslow's out tonight.
Okay.
I don't see him anywhere. Let me see.
That's fantastic. That really puts Shaedon Sharpe, Josh Hart, and in play big time for me. And then Jeremy Grant at only 6'5". I mean, he's going to have to really score the ball again.
I don't see anywhere that news is listed, so I'm not sure where that came from.
King of Smack is usually on the money, so I don't really like the Nurkic play, but I love Sharpe, Hart, and Grant. I'm going to have Portland Trailblazer exposure here. On the Phoenix side,
he said he's not out. He said, sorry, it's Keon Johnson that he was thinking of.
Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, so now that switches back. Instead, Winslow, number one, if I had to rank them, Sharpe and Grant, 2, 3, and even Hart has to have a question mark. So I could have two Portland Trailblazers very easily here. And if I go with the Sun, I'll probably go more on the cheaper side. I mean, the bottom has dropped out on Eaton's pricing, so it makes it tempting. Bridges is mid-level price. Yeah, wouldn't mind having one kickback on the Phoenix side either.
Yeah. All right. Well, ready for our two brains lineup? Are we doing FanDuel or Yahoo? Or Deb and I even talked about yesterday. We could even sometimes do like a Draftkings core, just a little.
Why don't we try that? We've never done it. Yeah. So we'll each take, we're only given a starting 5. So let's agree on one guy, and then we'll both put 2 other guys in. That'll give you a 5-man core for everybody, staying well within their guidelines and taking a look at who our favorite plays are on this slate. So who was a guy we both were on early on there that we said we both – Durant.
Yeah, Durant.
Is that cool? We start with Durant?
Yeah, so you want to take him at small forward?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you can go next. That's fine.
Okay. I'll take Hartenstein.
Oh, that was who I was going to take. Hartenstein or Hartenstein. That's center for only 4,400. Let's see. I'm going to take Şengün as the
utility.
Utility, correct.
Okay.
Okay, he's 63.
All right. Who was the other guy? Oh, I know who it was. Edmund Sumner at 3,200 for.
Oh, I love that play, man. You're reading my mind today, man. You are on.
Yeah, one last pick. That went.
I know who I'm taking.
Okay.
CJ McCollum. So
Shooting
you're
guard or
still
point guard?
shooting. So
Okay.
and I put Sumner at point guard. So Sumner point guard, CJ McCollum is shooting, Kevin Durant at small forward, Hartenstein at center, and Sengun as utility. Sumner's 3,200, McCollum 8,600, Durant 10,600, Hartenstein 4,400, and Sengun 6,300. So the rest of your lineup, you have 56.33 per man to fill it out. And that is our two brains are better than one starting five bonus DraftKings lineup.
I like it, Coach.
Anything else in Discord? Any other questions or anything like that? If you have any questions about membership, just shoot us a DM on Twitter at DFS Coach Talk. If any members are in and want to talk any of that stuff, the extensions we're talking about with members on their current memberships, you can DM me, Coach, right in Discord.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we'll just do like a rotation. We'll do, we did DraftKings Core. Next time we'll do a Fanduel, and then we'll do Yahoo, and we'll just rotate it like that.
That sounds good. Although you're going to have to fight with Earl Tyson, Mr. Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he says he wants a Fanduel. Two brains are better than one. Can't do that every time. We can't do that every time.
Yeah, we'll mix it around, man. That's the way to do it. So.
And you know who else is a really good play in that lineup, Coach, that I was just looking at that you mentioned earlier, and he's dual position eligible, is Naz Reid.
I love Naz Reid too.
Yeah,
I absolutely do. I'm going to have no trouble getting value on this slate. I mean, it's other than Durant, I mean the others. I know Brogdon's heavy chalk and Cat's heavy chalk. A guy I may try to get in a lineup somewhere too is Kevin Porter in the mix at that decent price, 7,600. So, all right, my friend, I've got to deal with scratchy voice, bad connections here, but you know what? We got all our picks in. We got everybody the information that they needed, and I think it's good stuff, man. Really appreciate you jumping in. Now, are you? Can you be on with me tomorrow?
Is it me or is it Deb tomorrow?
It's Sunday. Is that Deb? I don't know.
I thought it was Deb.
I hope so, because we'll have to do it through.
He's in the chat. Let's see.
Is it tomorrow?
Deb. I think it's Deb. I think she mentioned.
I think I put myself on solo, but I'd rather go with somebody since I have the different kind of connection here.
I think it's Deb. I think. Let me see. She hasn't said anything yet, but I thought she said. Sure. I thought she said yesterday after the podcast that was her plan was to do tomorrow with you.
She's not listening, probably. Well, either Deb and I or Crash and I will be on tomorrow, regular time.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Either way. And we're under an hour, Coach. So good job.
Hey, that is very good. That's we went an hour and a half
on two games.
With two games, which a record that will never be broken. So.
Right. And then tomorrow, guys, Steve and I at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, we will be doing our NFL podcast. We won't be doing it tonight. It'll be at 10:30 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. So make sure you tune into that.
Right. Definitely check that out because we're going against some of the big boys tomorrow, but we want to get a little different feel for it for everybody, more updated info. So definitely connect with those guys for football in the morning and then 4:45 for the NBA pod in the afternoon. Crash, you're going to have to use the randomizer and pick two winners. If your names are called, you can jump on Twitter, DM me at DFS Coach Talk with your PayPal email, and we will get both those tickets out to you today.
Okay, so we've got Emerson Baby Gap shirt.
All right.
Winners. Yeah. And looks like Saruji W is our other winner.
Saruji. All right, Baby Gap and Saruji, shoot that over to me on Twitter, and we will get it out to you. So, all right, my friends, I think that covers it. Really appreciate everybody jumping in. Definitely catch tomorrow. I know it gets a little bit hectic on a Sunday with all the NFL going on, but if you have a break at 4:45, definitely jump on there. So, all right, Crash, you're going to have to push the buttons to send us out.
Yep.
But I'd like to thank everybody again for joining in, as my voice goes. And definitely join us again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA DFS.